Alright, so I'm out here in the woods again doing my thing, and wanted to make this video here because I had some interesting stuff happen this weekend. So I found two fawns out in the woods, one at this current location and another one at a kind of a state park. I don't know how you would categorize it. It's not a state park, but then it kind of is. And I don't want to mention the place because I don't want to anger people. So the first fawn I found, it was somewhat kind of hidden, but there were no doe tracks around there. That thing definitely seemed abandoned. I searched and searched for big doe tracks, couldn't find any, and it appeared that that fawn had been abandoned. Somebody may have touched it or something and left their scent on it, and the mom didn't want it anymore or something. But it was alone. There was no sign that anything had been tending to it. And so I grabbed the fawn and I took it into the front office, and they were upset with me. And they did not want to listen to me telling them, hey, listen, I do all kinds of survival stuff. I'm out in the woods all the time. You know, I know that deer take care of their young and they got odd habits, but according to what I read from the ground, this one had actually legitimately been abandoned. They didn't care, and they made me put the deer back, and it was kind of frustrating. So this is what I want to mention here, okay? If you're out in the woods and you find a fawn, don't touch it. What you need to do is look around and see if there's any sign or any ground sign that there's been a large deer in the area, okay? Like look for hoof prints or whatever. If you can't find any, take pictures, make a video, say, hey, look, this thing's been abandoned. There's no tracks around here. Find some other evidence too, because they may just be like, well, the deer covered its tracks. Excuse me. Deer don't cover their tracks, all right? In all my experience in the woods, I've never seen a deer cover its tracks. I've been close enough to them where, you know, if I had a spear, I could have just lunged out and gotten them. And I've crept up on them like that. A mother deer, when it has a little fawn, it will basically come and visit the fawn about twice a day to help feed it. And then it's off, roaming around, trying to, I guess, maybe lure predators away or whatever. And the fawn itself, from what I've been told, doesn't have a scent, so the predators aren't going to smell it, and due to its natural camouflage, the predators probably aren't going to see it. So, you know, just because it looks abandoned doesn't mean it is abandoned. So if you find a fawn, I guess this is somewhat of a common occurrence. People will find the fawns, they'll be like, oh, it's abandoned, they pick it up and they take it into the office, and then the park staff get all upset and they're like, what are you doing? Now the mother's never going to accept it back, blah, blah, blah. Which is odd, because then they'll say you need to go put the fawn back. Why would you make us put an animal back if you know its mom's not going to take it back? You're telling us to just go set it back there and die, all right? So this video is aimed at people who go out in the woods and also at park staff. And I'm trying to be peaceful about this. I hope it doesn't sound antagonistic. If you are a person and you're in the woods and you find a fawn and you think it's been abandoned, take a picture, geotag it, carry a GPS with you. Get a grid coordinate, okay? Take a video, explain why, based on the evidence around you, you feel this thing has been abandoned. Take it to the front office. If they can determine by your video that that fawn has been abandoned, then you have a reference point to go back to find that fawn, okay? If they can determine that the fawn is okay, it's not been abandoned, then you didn't bring it into the office, you didn't leave your scent on it, and no harm, no foul, okay? If you are on park staff, or you like run a park, or you're a park ranger, or you're with the DNR, you might want to think about putting up signs saying, hey, listen, this time of year we got fawns out there, don't touch them. And then tell people, if you feel they're abandoned, take a video, show us why you think it's abandoned, geotag it, or geotag your video or your picture, and give us a grid coordinate so we can go out there and find it, okay? And then also, if I haven't mentioned this already, tell people don't pick it up, don't touch it, don't go near it. People don't know, okay? I've been out going out in the woods for 17 years now, traveling the globe doing survival stuff, and I didn't realize that it was a problem that people were picking them up and taking them in, and that park staff was getting mad. This is the first year I've ever heard of it, okay? And I'm not a novice survivalist, you know. So that's just something to think about, okay? If you're going out in the woods and you're not on park staff and you got no training, or you do got some training, try to leave them alone. Do the things I said before. Take a video, geotag it, blah, 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 blah. If you are on park staff, you work at a park, or you're with the DNR, please consider putting up some signs telling people what the case is with these fawns. Maybe make a video and put it online on Facebook every year, you know, repost it so that it's refreshed in people's memory and knowledge, and that should help solve some of these problems, okay? So, because I certainly don't want people to get the reaction I got when I brought it in there. Number one, I was treated like I had committed a horrible crime. Number two, I was treated like I was dumb. And I had done neither one of those things. Excuse me, I did not commit a crime, and I'm definitely not dumb. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but I'm out here all the time, you know, like, you know, I saw an otter last weekend on a river where everyone says otters haven't been there in 100 years. Okay, I saw it, all right? I found cougar tracks here in town, and the DNR said, no, we don't have cougars. And then what happened? A lady got a picture of it on her game camera, and everyone saw it along the highway, heading north. So, you know, hey, I'm not Steve Irwin or, you know, some of these more popular, famous survival guys, but I'm out here enough to know what I'm talking about. And I didn't realize there was a problem with people grabbing fawns and taking them into the front office thinking they were abandoned. So it does seem a little bit odd that here in this state that an animal would leave its young unattended like that, but you know, there's a reason for it. So as I mentioned before, and I know it sounds repetitive, but hopefully it will sink in, take a video, make your case, geotag the video, get a grid coordinate, take it into the front office or the front desk at the front of the park or whatnot. Talk to park staff. If they feel that animal has been abandoned or that it's endangered and that they need to intervene, then they can go out there and get it, and no one's going to yell at you. If you are on park staff, as I mentioned before, put up signs as people come in, put up signs in the woods every now and then, letting them know, hey, these things will be near human trails. You know, they'll be out in the open sometimes. Just let them be, you know, or take a video, make your case, whatnot, bring it in, but don't touch and don't move the fawn. All right, as always, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Semper Fi, and God bless.